All right, let's get right into it. Part 2 of the Cambridge B2 First Speaking Exam. You know, for so many people, this 1 minute long turn is hands down the most confusing part of the whole test. But don't you worry, in this explainer, we are going to break down a really clear, high-scoring strategy that's going to put you completely in control. See, it all really boils down to this one single question. You've got 2 photos, you've got 1 question, and you've got 60 seconds on the clock. So what do you do first? Do you launch into this super detailed description of every little thing you see, or do you just jump right in and answer the question? And this is exactly why it's so frustrating. You get all this conflicting advice, right? One teacher tells you, describe, describe, describe. Then you go online, you watch a video, and some expert tells you that's a massive mistake. It's this classic showdown, and you're just stuck in the middle. So let's settle this debate once and for all by actually looking at what the exam wants. First things first, to build the right strategy, we've got to understand the task inside and out. So let's quickly break down what this part of the exam is all about. So, what's the actual deal here? You get 1 minute, and it goes by fast. The examiner hands you 2 photos and asks you a single question about them. Now, your mission, and you should choose to accept it, is not just to talk for a minute, it's to prove that your English has hit that B2 benchmark. Everything you say has to be working towards that one goal. With that in mind, it is time to look at the most common strategy that students are taught, and, more importantly, why I'm calling it a trap that can seriously lower your score if you're not careful. This probably looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? You start with a general intro, then you list off what's in the first picture, then you move on to the second one, and then finally, if you've got any seconds left on the clock, you try to squeeze in an answer to the question. I mean, it seems logical, but it has a huge fundamental flaw. And that flaw all comes down to this question right here. Think about it. When you're just listing things, there is a man, the woman is wearing a hat. What level of grammar are you actually demonstrating to the examiner? And here is the big reveal. Look at this. The grammar of simple description is things like present simple and present continuous. This is classic A2 level English. Now, it's not wrong, but you're sitting in a B2 exam. It's kind of like showing up to build a house with a toy hammer. You're just not using the right tools for the job, and it's not going to get you a high score. So, you see, this whole describe first idea is a trap, because you're literally just wasting your precious minute on low-level language. You get totally bogged down in details that don't matter, like the color of someone's t-shirt. And the worst part? You might actually run out of time and forget to even answer the main question. And that's where all the points are. So, if that's the trap, how do we avoid it? Well, it's simple. We go straight to the source. Let's look at what Cambridge, the people who actually make the exam, have to say about it. And there you have it, folks. Straight from the Cambridge Handbook for Teachers, it says in black and white, candidates are not expected to give detailed descriptions. Instead, what are you asked to do? Compare the pictures and give your reaction. This is the big aha moment. The goal is not inventory, it's interpretation. This all ties into one of the key marking criteria, which is called discourse management. Now, I know that sounds super complicated, but it's not. It just means, can you organize your thoughts in a logical way? Can you speak for a whole minute without big, awkward pauses? Can you connect your ideas smoothly? Just listing things off doesn't show good discourse management, but a well-structured answer absolutely does. Okay, now that we know what the examiners are really listening for, we can finally start building an answer that's going to impress them. And it all starts with having the right tools in your linguistic toolkit. Think of this as your language power-up pack for part 2. Instead of just, the man is watering a plant, you need to be using modals of speculation, like he might be enjoying his hobby, or they could have decided to spend time together. Instead of just listing facts, you've got to use comparison words like whereas and connectors like in order to. This is the kind of language that just screams B2 level. And this example makes the difference crystal clear. The before is just a simple A2 level statement of fact. But look at the after. It completely transforms it. It's speculating on the reasons for the activities using may have decided and in order to. It's directly comparing the 2 scenes using whereas. See? It's doing 3 things at once. Describing, comparing, and answering the question. That's efficiency.
So here it is, the golden rule. If you remember one thing, let it be this. Don't think about it as describing then answering. You need to think of it as answering by describing. Every single detail you mention has to have a purpose. It must be there to back up a speculation you're making or a comparison that's part of your main answer.
All right, it's time to pull all of this together into one simple, actionable plan that you can practice over and over again until it's second nature. So here is your game plan in 3 easy steps. First, go for the question right away. No warming up, just dive in. Second, as you're talking, constantly weave in comparisons between the 2 photos. And third, this is the big one, always link your descriptions back to your answer. So don't just say, I see some older people and a young girl. Say something like, it looks as if they might be grandparents with their granddaughter, which makes me think they're probably enjoying a family out. See the difference? And that brings us to our final, most powerful takeaway. Let this be your mantra for part 2. Focus on the question. That is your #1 mission. Description is just the tool you use to accomplish that mission. Master this idea, and I promise you, you'll turn what used to be the most confusing part of the exam into your absolute moment to shine.